Ciao a tutti, benvenuti. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rebecca Bailey and I make videos about Torino, about Italy, because I currently live in the north of Italy, a city called Torino. So please consider liking and subscribing because it's important to me if you could do that. So in this video, you're going to find out a few things. I'm going to talk to you about the cost of living in Italy, and I'm going to make it specialized to myself. Specialized to myself, is that the correct word? Specialized to myself, so that it gives you a deeper understanding of how much you can pay if you were to live in a city like Torino, for example. How much you can pay, because maybe you don't have any idea. Maybe you might think it's really expensive. Maybe you might think it's really cheap. So I hope this video gives you an idea. Let me start off talking about the rent. It's one of the most important things, right? You need somewhere to live. So, okay, as I said, I'm going to personalize it to my living expenses. My apartment, or our apartment, is roughly about 85 to 90 square meters. And in the area that we live in, this type of apartment can go anywhere between 500, for example, 600. I've not done the sums on it. That's if we were to pay rent. And it's a 2-bed, by the way. But I'm going to do another video about how much you can rent apartments for in Torino and in other big cities across it. We pay our bills every 2 months. It's different for everybody. Some people pay their bills quarterly, maybe every month, but we pay ours every 2 months. Let's talk about water. Our cold water, I would say, is included in the building costs, so like the condominium fees. And with these condominium fees, we also pay for the garden, we pay for any maintenance. As I said, the water, the cold water is included in that. And anything else that needs to happen with the building, we pay for that. That we can pay for yearly, a yearly cost of anything between 1,100 and 1,200 per year, depending on what needs to be done to the building, or anything new that happens, or anything. It just all depends. So it can go up or it can stay at about 1,100 or go up to about 1,200. There is the option to pay for this in 4 installments. Let's talk about gas. We pay for what we use here. Some places have buildings where you pay for the whole building pays, and then maybe they split the cost, but we have a counter where we pay our gas. So our gas can look like anything like this. So in the winter time, it's possible for 2 months, for two bills, to pay anything like $3.30 maybe to $3.50 in the colder months. And in the summer, maybe about $2.60, and then in the autumn about $2.60, 2 bills, and then the other 2 bills would be like something like €80. So the cost is completely, of course, in the summer because we use less of it. Okay, so that's for the water. That's for the hot water in the gas. So it's the gas and the hot water is included in that. So can you see the cold water and the hot water is separate? And every time we turn on the cold water, it comes through a different system than the hot water comes through. Something that you should note: the heating is managed by, let's say another party, and your heating is controlled. Basically, it comes on at a certain time of year and closes off at a certain time of year. So in October, they put the heating on, and in April, they turn the heating off. That is not ideal for me. Luckily, we have our own heating as well that we can put off and on when we prefer it, because I don't know if I would be able to cope with not having heating on in October. If I'm cold, I want to have the option that I want to put the heating on. And also sometimes in April, when they turn the heating off, it's not quite warm enough for me anyway. to not have any heating on. Sometimes I can have the heating on into May or into late April at least. I like to have the option, but for a lot of people, they don't have the option. They just follow the rules when the heating goes off and when the heating goes on and off. So you can't control. Let me tell you the difference between a personal counter and a building counter. So some buildings, and our building, I think, is pushing to have like a communal counter, but we prefer to pay what we use. And it works out like this. They calculate how many people are in the apartment, and then they spread the cost between the people in the apartment. So if the person above, there's 4 people in that apartment, they pay more. If we're in this apartment, there's 2 of us, we pay less than them. If somebody below is 1 person, then they pay less than we pay. But sometimes that's not always equal, because maybe I have an apartment and there's 2 of us there, but we end up paying, we use less than the person with 1, or maybe we use more than the person above us who has 4 people. So we personally prefer to count ours ourselves, and that might be something that you guys will come across too when renting here in Italy. So it's good probably to find out if it's personal counter or if it's a building. Transportation. I'm going to talk about car, and I'm also going to talk about transport. To be honest with you, I don't do this option anymore. I used to have a card. When you come here, you sign up for a special card. You go to the office, you sign up for a card, you have your picture on there. And then basically after that, you can then have, it's a little bit like an Oyster card if you're from the UK. You just can top it up. But it's not like you can top it up as you go. Basically, you have the card. You can put daily tickets on there, or maybe 3-day tickets, but you can't put single ones on there, as far as I know. So for example, if you commute 2 times a day, you need the metro, the bus, it might be more worth your while to get a monthly bus ticket, but you put it onto the card instead. Do you understand what I mean? This, I literally forgot the cost. I'll put the cost in here. Anything between, I think it's 30 and 50 euros for the month, and that might be too much. Anyway, I'll put it in there. Let's talk about car insurance. I currently don't drive at the moment, but if you were to drive in Italy, I think it's valuable for me to give you this information. Car insurance. If you're a new driver, maybe if you're a new driver in Italy, you can definitely pay about £2,000 a year for car insurance, and obviously depending on where you live and whatever the criteria is. In the UK, if you live outside, or maybe in a nicer area, or where there's less crime or whatnots, your payments can be a lot less. I use my boyfriend as an example. So he told me around £2,000 for a new driver. I'm not sure if you would be classed as a new driver if you were to come to Italy from the UK, for example. I'm not really sure. But he said he's got a first class. So basically, his first class driving license, or I don't know what type of bracket or category that is in Italy. But basically, he's got a lot of experience. He's been driving for a long time. He has no claims. He has, all of those good things. So he now pays. He's been driving since he was probably like 17 years old, and he now pays 400 per year. 400 a year. I've written per month, and I'm like, not really. That'd be crazy if it was 400 per month. But yeah, 400 per year for insurance. Then you have something called bollo. So bollo is something quite interesting and very unique to Italy. We definitely don't have this in the UK. It's a special tax for possession of the car. So basically, it's a tax to say I own the car. So because you own the car, you have to pay a tax. And this is 360 euros per year for the bollo. Yeah. Then of course you have your MOT, which I think they call here a revision. And you do this every 2 years. In the UK, we do it every year, and it can cost between, I think maybe about 80 to 100 euros, right, in the UK. I forgot, it's been a while. It's been a while since I MOT the car in the UK. Anyway, so here you can pay like 80 euros for the MOT, the revision. And of course, if there's any problems with your windscreen or your this or your that, you have to pay for the repairs. Gasoline. So gasoline is €1.60 per litre. And my boyfriend used to go into work, out to work, just to give you an estimate. He used to drive like 20 km for work. His car is powerful. I think he's got quite a sporty car with a decent sized engine. He said that he used to pay like €3. It worked out as like €3 per day. So roughly he paid like 150 per month, including going to work and social. Let's talk about the gym. The gym, all of these things on this list are essentials. And I've put this down as an essential because I believe that, you know, a gym is something nice. And I think if you go to the gym in your country, it'd be nice if you could also do it here. So gym costs. We are very lucky here in Italy that we also have those monthly gyms where you pay like £20 or £30 and they don't have any shower and they're 24 hours. They don't have shower. They don't have a personal trainer or anything like that. It's no frills, but you can get the job done. They have those gyms here. So literally you can pay €20 per month, 20 or €30 per month. I forgot how much it costs. So they're called the cheap gyms. I actually forgot the brand. This is an example I'll give you for me. 1 year's gym membership I would pay with the sauna, with a personal trainer, with changing rooms, and, you know, with the frills, basically, you can expect to pay €420 per year, which is about €55 per month. Healthcare. It's important, of course, to have some money aside for healthcare. Point of entry in terms of seeing a GP and maybe seeing another type of doctor is, for the most, it's free. It's free. But a lot of the time you do get referred to specialists. And to see a lot of these specialists, if you go down the free route, sometimes you have to wait a hell of a long time. Just like in the UK, you have to wait a hell of a long time. If you want, it's sometimes like a 1 year, 6 months waiting list, 3 months waiting list, or whatever. And if your situation is you're in need, of course, you need it to be a little bit quicker. So you have to be prepared to pay the money, the salt, and it starts to cost anything between, to see a specialist, 120 euros. Let's just say 120 euros. And I have a contingency aside of maybe like, on average, I spend medical bills, I would say €100 per month. Anything from 100 to 200 euros per month, I would say. On a ching 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 month, 200. On an extreme month, 200. Or on a good month, maybe 100. I don't know. I don't keep up. Anyway, dentist, to have your initial consultation for them to look to see if you've got any cavities, etc., etc. But of course, if they find any cavities, then this is where the money starts to leave your pocket. I went to the dentist last week, I think it was on Thursday. He gave me a check. I was literally in my mind saying, please, Jesus, I hope he doesn't find anything, because I felt a little bit of pain around here, but he didn't find anything. So I didn't have to pay. My boyfriend always go, we have checks together. He had his check, and he also had to clean off they say in Italian, tartar, to clean off the tartar, to clean off, the gunk and the plaque. We say plaque in English. To clean off the plaque away and all this. And he has that done maybe every 6 months. And he ended up paying €100 for that. €100 for the clean. Also, last time I went, that was 1 year ago, I had a cavity. And I paid for the filling, sorry, I call it a filling in English. Filling, I paid 200, anything from 220 to 250, maybe 220 for the filling. I think we go to an expensive dentist. I think so, but my boyfriend really loves this dentist. I'm sure if we was to go, this is a private dentist, I'm sure if we was to go down a different road, then we would pay less, about £2.20. Another example, if you want to see a gyno, a private gyno, I went for my, yearly check, and I paid about €153 to see the gyno. Again, private. Okay, so that just gives you an example of how much you can possibly pay. And I know you might be thinking, oh, why not save money and blah, blah, blah. But you will know when you move here, you will know why you would end up going to private. Sometimes it's the way. I do a mixture of both. I do private and I do public. If I can, I do this, and if I can't, I do this, and sometimes I do this, and sometimes I do that. Let's now look at internet. I'm with a company called TIM, one of the biggest internet providers and also phone contract providers. We pay every 2 months our bill, and it equals out at 60 euros every 2 months. So it's affordable. It's reasonable price. Also, my mobile phone, I'm also with TIM, and I pay 13 euros per month with 10 gigabytes of data, and also the text messages and the phone calls. I don't really use the text message and the phone calls. I mainly just stay focused. I mainly have my plan for the data. So it's quite affordable, I think, anyway, 13 euros. And sometimes there's even better deals that you can get. You can probably get something like €7 for even more data. So it's all about looking and researching. My contract, I'm not on a contract, mine is just rolling, so I can quit anytime I want to. Food, let's talk about food. I personally think that food here is quite expensive compared to the UK. We spend anything between €120 per week and €150 per week in a supermarket. Is that good? What do you spend on your weekly shopping in Italy? Tell me. If you have an Italian partner, or there's no compromise when it comes to food, they'll be happy to save money in any other area, but when it comes to the food, they are not going to do it. So let's say $150 a week. Next on the list are things that you don't really need, but they make your life a little bit nicer. Netflix, $15.99. We have a family package, so that costs $15.99. Disney Channel, I think that's like $8.99 a month, €80 per year. Amazon Prime, €36 per year. Again, we don't need them, we want them. And I've not had it in clothes, I've not had it in going out, makeup's a subscription, because I believe that's all within your control, and it's up to you if you want to go out once a week, twice a week. It all depends. And for me, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Road trips, again, that can also bring up the cost of life. So yeah, basically that is, I hope this video helps you and gives you some idea on how much it can possibly cost to live in Torino, Italy. For me, I think it's quite reasonable. I don't think the prices are too much different than the UK. I definitely think that the dentists in the UK are more affordable, and also cost for food is more affordable. And I think there's one more thing. But in terms of property, I think you can get a lot more bang for your buck with the property. But please watch my next video where I'm going to be talking about how much apartments cost in Italy and in Torino. That's worth watching, and then you get an idea of what you can get for your money in Italy. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and comment anything below that you feel is necessary. Thank you. Ciao.